It's fine. All right. Hello, everybody. We hope that you can see and hear us well. If you are joining us live, please do pop us a message in the chat box. That would be awesome to know that we're starting off without any tech issues. So here we go. Yeah, welcome everybody. Happy Earth Day. Welcome to EMTV. My name is Courtney and I'm here with Danielle Gaudet.
Hi, everyone. Happy Earth Day.
We're so excited and happy to be here with you all. Welcome, April. Thank you for letting us know you can hear us.
Yeah, great. Great.
We have a lot of exciting events planned, including a conscious conversation, 2 very special guests, and a full moon meditation to send healing energy to our planet together. So we hope you can share this event with your family and friends, because today, in honor of Earth Day, for every 1 subscriber we get, we're going to donate $10 to the Canopy Project.
Yay.
So we hope that's exciting for you guys too. The Canopy Project works with global partners to reforest areas in need of rehabilitation, including areas most at risk for climate change and environmental degradation. So this is an organization by earthday.org. You can check it out. There's a link in the description if you want to learn more. They have planted tens of millions of trees with the Canopy Project. So we hope with your help, we can continue this crucial work and help nature restore her balance.
Wow. Yeah, I feel so excited about that.
Yeah.
And it's great. This is our first time to do this event. It's our first time to be able to donate to this kind of cause. And we really wanted to kind of come together with all of you. That's why we named this Together for Tomorrow. We're really trying to build community here at Earth Management TV. We think there's, power in people gathering who, in the name of doing something good for the earth, who care about earth management and everything that we stand for, which we're going to talk about a little bit more. We just feel like that's so important. And Earth Day is our most important holiday. It's very precious to us. So we're happy to be experiencing it, celebrating it together with you. So thank you so much for being here.
Yes, it's true. Earth Day is a very important holiday for EMTV. And we're always curious, what are you guys up to? Or do you have any sustainability tips of your own you want to share? This would be an awesome platform. We hope for you to do that. Or just in any ways you honor the earth on Earth Day or any day. Please feel to share and write that in the chat. And let's inspire each other in that way.
Yes. We love to hear from our community. So what are you doing in your area today? We'd love to know if you're participating in anything that your community is doing, or maybe you're just doing something kind of internal for yourself to sort of meditate and connect to the earth. Or are you planting trees? Are you picking up trash? We love to interact. So if you are doing anything, please feel free to share with us in the chat box anytime throughout our event today.
Yes, please do. And I think one of the things that sets EMTB apart is that part. The meditation is a part of helping the earth,
right,
in the way that like our energy contributes to the people around us, and even beyond that, into the energetic field around us. So even if we're feeling good, we're feeling peaceful, that's really what we're contributing outward. And then we just kind of have this hope or idea that the more people start to feel peaceful and hopeful inside, they'll naturally want to make choices that are better for the earth. They'll naturally will want to resolve conflicts with a little bit more grace, if we're just generally feeling better about ourselves and where we are. So we talk a lot about this on EMTV. If you're new to us, the importance of our own human awareness and managing our own inner environment as the foundation for helping the planet kind of restore her natural balance and health.
Right. That's kind of our mission here. If you're new to joining us, or if you've been, visiting us often, just so you understand, and we kind of like to say it again clearly, we really want to help raise up consciousness for people to just be more aware, obviously, of the Earth's condition. I think more and more we know what's going on with our planet at this time, but also understanding how important the individual is. Each human's, as Courtney said, kind of internal state, right? So like each human's peace and joy is contributing to the peace and joy of the planet. That might be something that people are a little bit less familiar with. So that's something we also like to clarify, this part of raising human consciousness. Taking actions, but with what kind of inner mind? So we're taking care of the inner world and outer world together here at Earth Management TV. That's something that we feel really passionate about, and that's a big part of what we're doing here.
Yes. Yeah. Not just because we feel like we're supposed to, or that's like the right thing to do, but like actually genuinely wanting to do things that are good for the earth. That's the idea. And we have a comment from April.
Yeah.
I live in Japan where they do huge amounts of recycling. Awesome. But there are not large events organized by the government on Earth Day. Interesting. Yeah.
Wow. Welcome all the way from Japan. And it's so good for us to hear kind of sort of the lifestyle, the consciousness, awareness in each different country, culture. Yeah, it's so different all around the world, and we need to interact more. We need to communicate. We need to understand each other so we can all help each other wherever we are, lift up from there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that. Yeah. And thank you, April. We're happy to have you here.
Yeah.
Awesome. So yeah, I think you could summarize it in one word. We really want more peace and like we said, imagining a world where conflicts can be resolved with respect, with understanding. We can have more loving communities, nations, generally just people wanting to live in harmony with nature. So we choose to focus a little bit more on what we want to create on EMTV. And that's what our kind of our talks and our meditations focus on, not so much what's wrong. It's really easy to see what's wrong with the world, but what do we want to see? What do we want to create? What kind of world do we want to be in? Who do we want to be in that world? So that's really where we like to aim our focus here.
Yeah. Yeah. On Earth Management TV, we're really kind of dreaming of the world we want to see and the humanity we want to see together. And we really believe when we come together and focus on that together, dream that together, awaken that together, that just makes it so much more possible.
Yeah.
The gathering, the doing it together rather than each of us trying to be alone in isolation doing that.
Hence the name of our event, I think.
Exactly. Yeah. That's why we're gathering together for a better tomorrow. Yeah. So thank you so much for coming. I think we can kind of jump into what we have planned. Courtney and I thought about what we could do for today. So we kind of, in a way, smushed a lot of things that Earth Management TV stands for together. Because interestingly, today is Monday. Here in the States, it's Earth Day. And tomorrow, Tuesday, is the day that I usually give some sort of conscious conversation about kind of the human management, our inner part in this outer project. And tomorrow, Tuesday, is also a full moon meditation. So we sort of thought, oh, wow, on Earth Day, we'll gather together and we'll put all of these things together. So I'm going to be talking a bit about global citizenship in my conscious conversation coming up here soon. And then we have some great guests, some friends of our Earth Management community joining us today who will be talking about, we'll do some sustainability tips. This is also, we offer on Earth Management TV, little places where you can find little sustainability tips that you can put into action, because we don't want to have just theory here. Right. We also want to talk about what we can do day by day, very specifically, whether that's, again, an inner thing we can do, breathing, meditation, some sort of exercise for our calming our mind and bringing more peace into our environment, but also an outer action, right? That's our sustainability tips. Very specifically, there's so many things that we can do out there that we may or may not be aware of. So we're trying to educate about that. We have a great guest coming on today to talk about plastic reduction practices. So she has some fun tips to share for all of us. Yeah. And we have another guest from Brain Education TV, which is kind of like a sister channel for us, who's going to be talking about the importance of the brain, the connection really of the brain and the earth, how it's connected, what it means to, become more aware of our brain and the power of our brain, and show us some brain boosting exercises.
Yeah.
And then we're going to wrap it all up with our lovely Courtney, who does a monthly full moon meditation. So that's the time where we really get to send healing energy, harnessing the larger energies like the energy of the moon and send energy together for the planet. So we put it all together and we feel like this is our gift for everyone for Earth Day.
Yes. So if you can be here for the whole event, great. If you're just popping in and out, that's also awesome. And please do chat with us. Welcome, Blueberry. We're happy to have you here.
Welcome, Blueberry.
We love to know your questions, your comments, your suggestions, and let's celebrate the Earth together that way. So first up, I'm going to hand the reins over to Danielle for a conscious conversation about embracing global citizenship and our collective responsibility for the Earth.
Okay, thank you, Courtney.
Enjoy, and I'll be right back.
Okay, great. Well, hello, everyone. It's not Tuesday, but it's Earth Day, and I'm so excited to be able to do a conscious conversation with you today. And I love to hear any of your opinions or feelings about any of the things I'm talking about in the chat. So today's topic is global citizenship and our collective responsibility towards the Earth. So this is, what is this? This idea is very interesting, right? Global citizenship. It's more recognizing our part, right? That's how I understand it. If you just look at the definition, our part in social, environmental, economic responsibility, that we are part of this globe. And it also, global citizenship invites this idea of togetherness, right? Here, actually, at Earth Management TV, we often use the word Earth citizen. I think they're very interchangeable in many ways. This Earth citizen concept is like, if we all went up into outer space and we met aliens and they said, "Oh, where are you from?" We probably wouldn't say, "Oh, I'm from Boston, I'm from Japan, I'm from Germany, I'm from California." We probably wouldn't say that, right? We'd say, "I'm from the Earth." So just in imagining that, right, alone, it wakes us up to realize, wow, we're sharing this planet together. We are interconnected as a human species. We are all of the Earth, right? So this is we're citizens of the Earth. This is our citizenship. So it encourages us to look more at our togetherness, because as we know very well, so much of the problem that we see on the planet, well, maybe we can even say all. I know that's like a bold statement, but it kind of feels like that all of the problems that we see are related to our separateness, right? Where we are not connected, where we see difference. So if we look at this from a sort of energetic standpoint, which Earth Management TV likes to talk about a lot, because energy is a really important part of healing. If we see this from an energetic standpoint, think of it like this: the physical world itself is very separate. It's very natural for us to see everything as separate, right? I'm here, Courtney was sitting there, you're over there, there's a picture, there's a door, and then when we look, everything is a different color. Oh, I see pink, I see blue, I see green, I see brown. And then once we start seeing all different things, which, by the way, let me clarify, there's nothing bad about that at all. Obviously not. That is the beauty of this planet. That's what brings all of the colors, the wonder, the majesty, the bounty that this beautiful Earth has to offer us. So we love that. But when that goes very extreme, then now our mind is always seeing separate and seeing different. And as soon as we start to see separate and see different, now like and dislike is growing in our mind. Judgment, discernment. Again, I'm not criticizing us. I'm not blaming anybody. I'm talking about this as a very natural phenomenon of our psyche, right? So, oh, I like pink, but I don't really like brown. Oh, that's ugly, right? It happens with all of our five senses, right? Like, I like that sound, but oh, that sound is too loud, or that smell is beautiful. Oh, no, that smell makes me feel sick. So we start to have a lot of like and dislike, a lot of judgment and discernment, which is also fine if we're just talking about, I don't know, art or colors. But once we start talking about people, right? People, cultures, opinions, ideals, politics, religion. Once we go in deeper into that, then when we use this discerning mind, it starts to make a lot of conflict. Do you understand what I mean? So this discerning and judging mind is very normal because everything in this physical world is separate and different. But we need to have management. Again, this word management is a word that I personally love. Earth management, human management, mind management. We need to have management over this as global citizens. So that's what I'm here to say. As global citizens, as Earth citizens, I think another part of our collective responsibility is recognizing that this has gone too far in our world. And now we're always seeing different and we're always judging better or worse, good and bad, like and dislike. And then it naturally breeds conflict and it can breed violence and it can get really ugly and it can cause a lot of pain. And even if you just see the earth, we feel separate from the earth. So when you're separate from something, then if that thing's hurting, then that doesn't affect me. Right? That's another big problem of separation and conflict. If I'm separate from you, then if you're hurting, then oh well, you're hurting, I'm not hurting. That's fine. What do I care? So this cannot be the solution. It's time. I feel like it's time in the evolution of human consciousness to become more and more aware of how much we have done this, discerning and dividing, even in our own minds, even with our own selves, right? I don't like this part about me. I hate this part about me. Oh, this is good, but this is bad about me. Then that leaks into our relationships with others. And then that leaks into our families, into our communities, into our relationship with the earth. So wherever, whatever degree of the spectrum you may or may not be there in that dividing, that divisive, discerning spectrum, we have to catch it now. Like the time has come. We have to become aware and try to start to make a shift to recognize our likeness. Again, I think this is the ultimate concept of global citizenship. And this is the ultimate concept of earth citizenship, our likeness, our sameness. We're all from the earth. We're not really that different. We're all from the earth. We have to pay attention to what we have in common so we can start to connect with each other. And I've talked about this in other conscious conversations before. We have to start to feel each other and we have to be able to feel the earth. This is where our empathy wakes up. So I think empathy is a really important part of global citizenship. I think it's our responsibility to awaken that empathy. We have to pay more attention to how this all began. And even if there's many, many, many people out there not doing that, not taking time to have that awareness about themselves, those of us who really care about the planet, we need to go deep and start there. Where is my mind still dividing and discerning and separating? And where can I begin to connect more? Actually, this is why I love energy work. I've been a practitioner, an energy practitioner for a long time, and I'm an energy coach for now over 20 years, because I think awakening our energy system. So we're going to do a little bit of brain exercises later with Linda. These are exercises when we start to move our body and activate our brain, we start to activate this energy flow inside of us. And how does that connect to what I'm talking about? Because when you feel energy, from the point of view of energy, we are all connected. We're not separate anymore. From the point of view of energy, where we feel each other. Example, emotions flow in energy. Emotions are energy, right? So if I'm feeling very positive and you're having a hard day, let's say, my positivity could flow and brighten you up. On the other hand, same thing from a negative perspective, right? If somebody's having a very bad day, they're very angry, they come into a room spewing anger, this can affect other people who may have been having a fine day. Then suddenly we feel their energy. If I become sad right now and start crying, you feel my sadness. Through energy, we feel each other. We can start to sense our oneness through energy more. So we want to awaken the sense of energy. This is an important part of the consciousness raising, that we are more than just this physical world, that there's also an energy that we are connected through. Let's just think about the earth. Let's just think about nature. When we go out and sit by a river, sit under a tree, we feel peaceful. We feel calm, right? We listen to the water. We listen to the wind. We feel we enter into a very peaceful state because that is the consciousness, that is the energy, let's say, of nature. So our consciousness is connecting with that peaceful vibration. So we feel it, we get affected by it. I think guys. Oh, good morning. Good morning, Patricia. Oh, no problem. You're right on time. Thank you for coming. So I feel like I'm talking about things that we may all be aware of, but it's something that we really want to point out because knowing this energy interconnectedness, first of all, the more I pay attention to that, that makes my life more rich, more full. I feel things, right? I can feel the earth. I can feel nature. I can feel the animals or children or even other people in their hearts or, the light in their eyes. So I'm feeling more. I feel more alive. Then I feel more joyful. Now I'm putting that positive energy out into the earth. This is one very positive aspect of connecting with energy, but also on this larger scale, this global citizenship scale. So there's many things that need to be done, right? Many actions that need to be taken. That's why I'm so curious what kind of things all of you are doing for your Earth Day, because, someone could be going and taking care of the oceans and clean up for the oceans, or maybe protecting the animals, the whales, or working to fight for the trees. Here we're doing a couple things today. We're supporting the Canopy Project with every new subscriber, but also we're going to talk about plastic reduction. There's so many things we need to do. Not only that, in the political arena and social arenas, economic arenas, there's so much work to be done to bring more balance to humanity and our planet, to bring more justice and more harmony, more health. But with what kind of energy and what kind of mind are we going to do that work? That's very important, right? All those separate little things, because the physical world is so vast, there's so many things to do. But with what kind of mind, what kind of energy, what kind of consciousness are we going to do that work? Are we going to do the work of caring for, let's say, trees while we are hating all the people who are hurting trees? Then we are putting that kind of consciousness out there. So I think as global citizens, as Earth citizens, we need to really recognize our likeness from now, our oneness. I think this comes first. I want to say this comes first. And then next is all of our action. Okay, small actions, medium actions, big actions. It doesn't matter. It could be an action that you just do with yourself to take care of your own heart and mind, or a big effort, a big community action, or something even on a global scale. Everything in between, with what kind of energy and what kind of mind in our likeness, our interconnectedness, our togetherness. So this is why we really want to bring together people in Earth Management TV. We want it to be a gathering of a community. And, I can see, there's people here from Japan and from Germany, I think, or Europe and Belize, all over the world. But we are all Earth citizens, right? So we can say, oh, you're different from me, or we can learn from each other. I think I said that to April at the beginning. It's so great to hear what's going on and you're part of the planet. So we can learn about each other and we can hear about each other. We usually hear a lot of bad news. It's very easy to hear bad news on the news, on social media. We tend to hear a lot of bad news, but I want us to, instead of just bad news, sharing how we can educate each other, how we can more understand each other so we can feel our interconnectedness and our likeness. And remember, you really want to take time also to go within as a global citizen and care for your mind. There was a saying like minding your mind's garden. Actually, I have a couple of great quotes. Let me see if I can even just pull it up really quickly here. Let me just even pick one. Okay. I feel like there's a couple of people out there that I've heard that I feel like, wow, they're really talking about this concept that we stand for at Earth Management TV, this Earth citizen, global citizenship concept. And I feel so grateful for them. I feel so thankful for anyone who's putting that kind of message out there. So here's one. I'm not sure if you've heard of a man named Wes Jackson. I heard his quote before I really understood about him, but just briefly, when I looked him up, he's a member of the World Future Council. So he's doing a lot of work to help our planet in many ways. And here's a quote that I heard from him long ago that I fell in love with. He said, "It's not just global warming. It's not just fossil fuel dependency. It's not just soil erosion. It's not just chemical contamination of our land and water. And it's not just the population problem. It's not just all of those. The deterioration of the environment of our planet is an outward mirror of an inner condition. Like inside, like outside. And that is a part of the great work." So when I heard that, I felt, yes, my heart felt so relieved to hear somebody else say that. Like inside, like outside. And that is part of the great work. This is exactly what we stand for here at Earth Management TV. This is exactly what we care about. It's got to be both. We've entered a time where it's got to be both, taking care of our inner world and taking care of our outer world together. This is the most important job, I want to say, of the global citizen, of the Earth citizen. Taking care of the inner world and then taking action steps, making choices and actions aligned with that desire for peace, that desire for more love in the world, more harmony in the world, more healing in the world. Taking whatever small, medium, or large actions from that inner mindset. So I hope you resonate with that also. I see some comments here. I feel most sorry for the animals. There at the mercy of humans. Yes, I know. I know. There is a lot of ways that our heart can ache for the animals, for the planet, for less fortunate people in our society and around our world. Our hearts can ache every day, but with that heart, so we want to know that ache starts from our love. Actually, that ache starts from our empathy, right? It starts from our connection. So rather than letting that ache break us, we want to use that as fuel, as an engine to do better, to do our part. Because I am here, I'm sitting here, in America on this sunny day, there's something I can do. I can get on the internet. I can talk about these important things. I can ask people to come together. What can each one of us do? This is important for that ache, for that love, for that care. I believe we're all here because we have some degree of empathy. So all we need to do is keep sharing and keep finding what small thing can I do right now, whether it's taking care of my inside or taking care of my outside, and remembering that they are a mirror. And this is the amazing part of human consciousness. I would like to see a world where humanity wakes up to understanding this mirror. This is a mirror. So when humanity's consciousness changes, the earth changes. So in that way, it's not even that much about the earth, but it's about the people. So I'm speaking today about the citizens of the earth. And I hope what I'm sharing resonates with you. Please remember, no matter what circles or groups you find yourself in, no matter what activities you find yourself engaged in, that the inner consciousness is so important. And to help us brighten that consciousness, knowing energy is very helpful. Simple energy exercises as simple as following your breath, breathing, you finding your own meditative Qigong exercises that help you feel energy, helps us to feel this energy and this interconnectedness and purify some of the negativity too. So as global citizens, as Earth citizens, I want us to keep sharing that spirit with each other and that message with each other and reminding yourself to check in, but then also to come out, right? So we go in and then we go out and make choices and actions with that peace and with that light for the world that we really want to see. So that is what I want to share in my conscious conversation today. I hope it's helpful for you in some way. Blueberry said you give me hope. So I'm really happy when any of my conversations inspire hope. I hope they also inspire you to check yourself or take some certain actions. Whatever it inspires, let's align that inspiration with a small action so we can keep making changes around us. So yes, if any of you have any comments, please feel free to comment. I'm going to welcome back Courtney here, and we're going to get ready to start to move on unless there's anyone who has any questions that I can answer.
Yeah, I thought it was beautiful. I was obviously listening from
Thank
downstairs.
you.
Of course, it's easy for me to agree, but if you guys have any questions about it, like we love to hear that. If you guys have any questions or you're curious about any of the concepts that we talk about, please do.
Yeah. Oh, hi, Greta. Thank you so much. So good to see you. And I know that sometimes the concepts can be really simple. Sometimes they can be kind of complex. Sometimes they might bump with maybe another way that you heard that concept explained. But I love to hear all of that because, it's all integrated. It's all interconnected. So that's what we're here to do through the conversation is to reconnect places where we might be confused or, oh, is that similar to this or different? This is where we can reconnect. Yeah. So thank you for tuning in. Oh, Patricia, in Belize, we had an Eco Green pop-up where people came out to show sustainable products.
I love that.
It's really interesting. Beautiful.
Oh,
That's
maybe we can organize something like that.
yeah. It's so nice to know that those kind of events are happening out there.
Over the weekend. Awesome. Awesome.
Oh,
Yeah,
it's
that's
wonderful.
hopeful.
It's
Hopeful.
wonderful. Thank you for sharing.
Yes, yes. And just a reminder, if you haven't caught it yet, so for every one subscriber we get today, we are going to donate $10 to the Canopy Project to plant trees. So if you are enjoying this conversation so far, please do share this with your friends and family. And we're really excited about that.
Yeah, we're really happy to be able to put an outside world action to what we're doing a lot online with EMTV. So thank you for participating in that with us today.
Yes. Awesome. And then next up we have ways to reduce plastic reduction with Stanie. She is a special guest from our Earth Management TV community. She's going to share some actionable steps you can implement in your daily life to make a positive impact on the environment.
Yeah, she has a lot of passion about this, and I was really happy to hear that because that was sort of one of my beginning places where I really kind of upped my kind of eco-conscious lifestyle, which was about plastic reduction. My heart will ache when I think about, the oceans and things like that. So I was so happy to see how much passion Stanie has, and we really wanted her to come on here and share with us some very simple tips that the average person can do to help protect and preserve our planet just a little bit better.
Yes, and she has done a lot of community outreach in this area with Groundwork Lawrence. She's got many classes on recycling. She's done led urban cleanups with kids and adults. So yes, her passion is strong, and we're very excited to have her here today.
Yeah.
So I'm going to welcome her in now. All right, welcome,
Hi,
Stanie.
Hello, lovely to see you. Happy Earth Day.
Happy Earth Day. Yeah, we're so excited. Welcome. Thank you so much for being here today. We did see your video on plastic reduction. That's what really inspired us to invite you and share some of that wisdom with us. Yeah, we're just really excited to learn more.
Yeah, I think we just love it so much. If you could share a little bit kind of what you talked about in that presentation. If I remember correctly, you spoke about habits, which I think is really interesting. And you talked about laundry detergent, plastic bottles, and I think it was plastic bags. I think some really just basic things that we all need to hear. So please, let us know about that a little more.
Yeah. So, I want to talk to you today, and thank you for inviting me, about, reducing our use of plastics. So not all plastics are bad. Some are really, really good. They're in medical devices and communication devices. They're great plastics. The ones we really want to focus on are those ones that we use for like 10 seconds and then throw away, right?
Yeah.
So we want to try and break that cycle, because they're the plastics that are really causing problems for the earth. So so I mean, that kind of thing doesn't happen just with a click of your fingers. You have to make a conscious effort to change a habit, and habits aren't easy to change, right? So just like a toddler who's learning how to walk, they're not just gonna, a baby just doesn't go from sitting to walking. They do a lot of practicing. And so what I'm saying to you on this Earth Day is, be kind to yourself and give yourself time to adopt a new habit, because these things don't just happen overnight. You have to put some things in place to make the habit change easier, right? So I don't know. I don't know, have either of you got an example of where you tried to do something with, recycling, and what you had to do to make that happen? I don't know. Do you have an example?
Yeah, I mean, I can share. I was kind of saying it right before you came on, how much plastic reduction became something that was one of my initial, like, oh, I gotta find the way to take action on this. But when I looked at my lifestyle, it was really far away from doing that. But it seemed so important, and I didn't know where to start. And every little thing, I was like, this is plastic, this is plastic, this is plastic. I don't know what to do. And as you're saying, like, it's hard to change a habit. And also the baby analogy, you fall down a lot.
Yep.
But I remember I just tried to, I had a friend who taught, I think she may have made this up, I'm not sure, but she said she had a plastic reduction kit in her car.
Yeah.
And I was like, cool, I can start there, right? So I got a bag and I filled it with some, glass Tupperware, so that when I go out to the restaurant, at least I could put my leftovers in there.
There you go.
It was like the beginning. And I was like, even that I felt proud, but I've come along. I mean, that was many, many years ago. But like you're saying, it was been a very slow, incremental, but that was an important starting point.
Yes. And I think, the discussion is, let's all keep encouraging each other. we may be beginners. We may not have really had much, idea about this or where to start. So we'll give you some starting tips today. Or you
And
may be
honestly,
somebody who's, practicing. And I consider myself a practicing person. I'm not an expert. I haven't got a zero plastic home yet. I'm still working towards that. But yeah, we're here to encourage each other, because all those little steps, just like that baby learning to walk, they all eventually lead to, us all running with it, right? So that's what we're here to talk about today. And maybe there are some experts out there too. And I would encourage the experts who've got it down to, share those victories about what they did to change their habit. What did you do to change the way you were doing things? It doesn't just happen
and
like
it's not
that.
just the habit though. We're kind of going against the grain. Because where I
Yeah.
get tripped up is the grocery store. There's
Right.
vegetables wrapped in plastic. And then
Oh,
if you forget
yes.
your produce bags, then you're either putting it just in your cart or you're using
Right.
one of those plastic bags that some of them are compostable, but then I heard, well,
Right.
some only compostable in certain ways. It's just our actual society is not designed up to help us. So we're
No.
kind of pushing against the current momentum too.
Yeah,
Right.
it's a lot of effort on our part. So
It's a lot of effort, but it's well worth it,
Yes.
because we need to just appreciate how much the earth does for us every day. We've got to start
right.
doing some, in a reciprocal way for the earth too. So yeah, so let's talk about those plastic bags Courtney was mentioning. So yeah, the some towns are actually banning them now and not having just paper bags. But even so, using the paper bags is so much better if you can bring your own bags with you. And I have some examples here. There's this type of bag, which is a thicker plastic bag.
Yeah.
They are selling these, but the research is showing that people are treating these like the thin plastic bags and just using them once. Well, it says on it, it says reusable bag. I think it's in reverse.
Yeah, we see it. We see it.
But yeah, it's saying use me often, right? So that's the trick with that. There are plenty of cloth bags out there too. I had to bring this example. This is an example of a little bag that you can actually put in your in your purse, your pocketbook. And it says 1 year, one shopper, 500 bags. And it's like
so
the
cute.
Ghostbuster. There's like a plastic ghost there with the Ghostbusters on it. And this is really handy because this is one of those situations. How often do you go out just for one thing and you've forgotten to bring, but you have your pocketbook with you. So if it's in there, voila, look at this. You've got something to put that, that loaf of bread in, or I don't know, you've been to the pharmacy to get some vitamins. You just pop it in there. You don't need to take a bag. This is a lifesaver, because
that's so
here we
great.
go. It's actually got the plastic monster on there as well.
Oh, that's cute.
Let's get rid of
that actually did help me change habits a lot, because I used to try to remember those reusable bags. And then now that I've got 2 foldable ones in my pocketbook, I never forget them.
Yeah. And I just want to give one more shout out for the plastic reduction kit.
Yes.
Because if you keep it in your trunk of your car, where maybe you have also some other things in there, you can have a bunch of those stuck in there. Maybe you have one in your purse, but sometimes you go home and you take your groceries out and then you forgot the bag on the table or something like that. So you can keep those in many places.
You can. Yeah. It's almost like once you get home, empty them, put them back in the car.
That's
that's a habit that you have to form. It doesn't happen overnight, or you'll be tripping over the empty bags and it's like, let's put them somewhere where I'll get to use them again. I mean, the other thing about this bag as well, I also want to just, we're getting close to summertime as well when people travel. These things are great when you're traveling as well, when you're a tourist, and you might be shopping for something or grabbing that t-shirt or whatever it is, you don't because when you're traveling, you haven't got access to recycling as well, have you? It's not like you're taking your recycling bin with you. So, this is really good too if you're traveling. So, yeah.
Unless you're in Japan, apparently. Thanks.
Oh, is that
April,
right?
April said Japan has really good recycling habits.
Oh, do they?
Nice to know. Yes.
Wow. Yeah. Well, there we go. We've still got a long way to go here.
Yeah.
So that's that's kind of plastic bags. What else do we want to talk about? Should we talk about laundry detergent?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
please.
important.
All right. So laundry detergent, hey, everybody has to do laundry. Well, I don't know, unless you're really wealthy and you have somebody to do it for you. But yeah, we're all doing laundry. And laundry is the detergent manufacturers really love giving us big plastic bottles, don't they? And this is an example of this is actually some softener. But the thing about colored plastic is it's actually harder to recycle. So this is less likely to get recycled. And most of the detergent bottle brands are colored plastic. So they're less likely to get, it's a lot of plastic and it's less likely to get recycled because it's colored. Yeah.
Is that work for black plastics too?
I think so, yes. I think, the clear plastic that we associate with water bottles is much easier, but once you put color in it, it's harder for it to get recycled because it's already got that dye in it. So that gets mixed in. And then, as you know, when you mix colors, it always makes kind of yucky brown, doesn't it? So I don't think it gives them the opportunity. So, I mean, we're talking about a product that's heavy, it's got a lot of water in it, it costs a lot to transport, takes up a lot of space, and then the plastic itself isn't that adaptable for recycling. So some of the alternatives out there are a lot of different alternatives now that are, you can get them at the store, and at one point you could just get this stuff online, but now you can get these at the store. My favorite are laundry detergent sheets. So look, this little box, which is like the size of a small tissue box, actually has enough for 100 loads. I mean, crikey, I'm not going to have to buy another one of these for 6 months, whereas these, they don't last that long. So I'll show you how big they are or how small they are. So this sheet is actually 2. So you just rip it in half. That is what goes.
Yes, those are so great.
And it's light. It's got all the cleaning power you need. They're very, doesn't cost a lot to transport. It's very concentrated. We don't need the water because you're already adding water right to the washing bottle. So it kind of makes sense when you think about it.
Right.
There are also these lovely pods as well out there. Lots of different brands of pods. These do tend to be a bit more expensive load for load than the sheets. But again, these are a very viable alternative. It's just very concentrated. So it's packed, jam-packed full of the detergents that you need. That's all you need. You pop it in and it can do the job. So those are 2 really good options for doing laundry. And, you can go online and there's lots of reviews of lots of different products and you can find out, what suits you and your family and the price point you need. And they do variations like, if you've got a family and you've got lots of smelly sports laundry, this is what I hear. It's the big thing. They do have, specific products that target that kind of laundry too. So I mean, the technology is coming along really well. So we need to get on board with that.
Yeah. And Stephanie, let's pause for a second because I see some comments coming in here. So I see Blueberry mentioned at the beginning of the talk, she said, one of the small steps in plastic reduction we can take is using loofah for dishes instead of plastic.
Nice.
That's interesting.
That's a good. I hadn't thought of that. See, you're teaching me now. This is great. We're all part of a learning community, aren't we?
That's right. Exactly. And then Patricia is saying, in Belize, we are trying to stop the use of single-use plastic. I only have 2 bags. About 2 bags I use. I don't want to have too many tote bags.
Oh, that's true. I've got a cupboard full of tote bags.
That's true. I actually have a ton of tote. They seem to be everywhere. Sometimes I feel like they're just falling from the sky. Patricia,
really cool.
that's really,
And a
that's
really good
very
habit.
great.
An
Yeah.
excellent habit.
It's very
Well,
minimalist
happy
of
Earth
you.
Day
and-
to Patricia. She's doing a
Yeah,
good
that's
job
very
there.
conscious.
Yeah.
And
Cool.
Julie, there's a few more. Julie is
Okay,
saying, I
sure.
wasn't aware. Oh, she's saying that I wasn't aware that colored plastics may be harder to recycle.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I actually
Yeah.
wasn't aware of that before I heard you say that either, Stephanie.
Yeah. Yeah.
Black plastic, I had no idea it was all the colors. No.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Patricia's saying that she wasn't aware either.
Yeah.
And Blueberry saying, as far as I know, only transparent plastic is easier or possible to
Right.
recycle. It's the
Yes.
clear,
Yeah.
transparent.
Yeah.
Yes. And Patricia saying the sheets, the laundry sheets are a great idea. I will get those. Great. So we're
Okay.
teaching each
All
other.
right.
Good.
Yeah.
And then Blueberry, I have 2 foldable textile bags in my jacket.
Mm.
Yes. Okay.
Oh, that's
Perfect.
smart. And that would keep you a
Yeah.
bit warmer in, if you live somewhere where it's snowy and cold. in winter
That's
too.
true.
Extra
It's so great.
insulation. I like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, I love
double-
to hear what everybody's
duty.
doing. Thank you so
Yeah.
much. Yeah.
I love the loofah idea. That's really
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
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 The
Right.
coconut fiber sponges too, right?
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
And then Patricia's
Nice.
saying, I saw something on John Oliver's show that the production of tote bags is not good for the environment. That's why I don't use a lot of tote.
I see.
Oh, that's very interesting.
Cool.
Oh, it's like we're trying to, did you ever play the game Whack-A-Mole? You know, when you're like, you're hitting
Yes.
one and the other one's popping up. It's really good to know. I was not aware of that. So thank you for
Yeah.
making me aware of that, Patricia. Okay, and
That's
Julie's
good.
saying when I was a child, we used coconut husk for scrubbing pots. And that's what you're saying.
Oh,
Coconut husk. Yeah.
nice. Yeah.
There's all different kinds of, or hemp and
Yeah.
coconut. Yes. Great.
Awesome.
Different materials.
Thank you.
Awesome. Well, that's great. We've got people in conversation here. So
Mhm.
the other thing that I wanted to talk to you about was water bottles. So water
Mhm.
bottles is, we're all trying to stay healthy or trying to stay hydrated, which is, very important for a healthy body. And so, the recommendations are that we should drink a lot of water. And this has become like a huge industry
Right.
of bottled water, and most of the bottled water, well, half of the bottled water actually is just coming out of a tap, right?
Oh,
they're
that's
just
powerful.
they're just actually taking tap water, packaging it and selling it to you. So, it hasn't got the vast majority hasn't got any added benefits to it, or it's just regular tap water. So that's the first thing. So you're paying for what's coming out of the tap. And then the second thing is that even though those water bottles, like we said, are this transparent plastic, which is easier to recycle, the statistics are showing that only 10% of plastics really do get recycled. So if you think about your 10 water bottles, out of those, only 1 is making it to be recycled into something else. So we're really not doing that great of a job, and we're just using so many of them. So one of the things, I was traveling recently. One of the things that is better is airports are introducing those hydro stations, hydration stations, as they call them. And they have like a little ticker that tells you how many bottles they filled. So, when you're traveling and you're getting on a plane, or even if you're in a car, you need to stay hydrated. So, this thing of being at the gas station and paying like $5 for a bottle of water, it's a lot of money. If you have your own bottle, like this very nice metal bottle I have here, you can just refill it. There we go. With tap water, and off you go. You've got that, and you've saved yourself some money, and we're all looking for ways to save money, right? So that's something that's really good. They do say that, you should wash it out every so often if you're, using it repeatedly. That's always a good idea, but these really do a great job in terms of reducing, plastic that's only used once. So yeah.
Yeah.
That's
And
another
I've
thing.
heard, I think it's not only unhealthy for the earth, the plastic water bottles, but it's not actually healthy for us because
Right.
we're getting those micro particles in
Right.
us the same as like the animals are getting, and it's getting
Yes.
affected, you
Yeah.
know? So
Yeah.
all around. And I think it was a really good point that you made about I mean, it's a sad point, right? That it's 50% just like tap water being put into it's
Yeah.
such a money-making industry
It is.
because we all need to hydrate and we know the importance of water and there's got to be water
Right.
everywhere. But because of that, our vote is important. Money-making industry is just based
Right.
on consumers, right? So if
Right.
we say, no more plastic for me, more and more and more,
Yeah.
I think the power is in our hands.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
But
think you're
jumping back to
absolutely right.
habits, you're going against the grain again, right? Because
Right.
it's like 6 to 12 glasses, I think they recommend a day that you're supposed to be having.
Right.
But
Yeah.
we thrive off of convenience, and as you said, we want to stay healthy. So you really have to build that habit of remembering to take it with you, which I finally started getting under my belt. But after a couple years.
It takes a while, doesn't it? I mean, I finally where is it? I've got it here. Yeah, I bought oops, sorry, I'm leaning off camera here, but I bought a backpack and I finally got a water bottle that fits, because my
That's
metal
good.
one wouldn't fit in there. So I just keep it in there. So when I'm traveling, it's just there, but heck, that took me a long while. It took me a long while to figure that out.
Yeah.
But you do buy
Finally got-
less. I distinctly notice that I buy less bottled
Yes.
any beverages when I remember to bring my water bottle with me.
Yep. Yeah. So
Yeah, that's very good.
it's one of those things that you do have to plan ahead, but once you've done it, it kind of starts to,
Yeah.
you're right. It's like self-fulfilling, isn't it? You start to notice more water fountains, notice more places.
Right.
So it's
Right,
one of
right.
those things.
Yeah.
Once you have it, you're
Yeah.
into the system and you're filling up everywhere. So
Yeah, I was thinking
cool.
about that earlier when you were talking to Stephanie. Like, this is part of the whole eco-conscious lifestyle that becomes our just practice, a practice to
Right.
solve problems. Oh, if I have too many tote bags, what should I do? Or if I'm always forgetting my tote bag, how can I help myself remember? Or, oh, I
Right.
found a backpack where I can put the bottle in the pocket. Like, we
Yeah.
become conscious problem solvers. It's waking up our consciousness too. When you really care, you'll find
Yeah.
a solution.
You'll find a
You
way.
do,
right?
you find a
Yeah.
way. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
And we have more comments coming in here, so
cool.
let's read
All
some
right.
of them. What was the last one?
The hull
Blueberry for laundry. Guess it's better to use washing powder with less water and less
Yes.
preservatives.
Yeah.
Okay. And then what is the hull of these little portions? What's the material? I'm not sure I understand that question. The hull of these little portions. What's the material? I think
I mean, going back to the washing powder comment, I mean, some of the old technology like washing powder is actually good, because it is concentrated. It didn't have that extra water in it, and it didn't cost so much to transport. I mean, companies have just come up with different ways to formulate these things that actually cost us more money. And I see that trend too with dishwasher detergent too. Have you noticed how they're making that more and more complicated? I mean, I don't know about you, but I don't need my dishes to smell of lemon. I mean, who needs the dishes to smell of lemon? I mean, laundry, yes, but my dishes, I just want
No, just be clean, please.
And this idea of it being 10 times more powerful. I mean, how dirty are they to begin with? I mean, have they got some industrial food on them that needs, I mean, how much cleaning power do you need in there? So I think it's all a bunch of nonsense, quite honestly.
That's right.
I think the old powdered stuff is just fine. I know it spills everywhere, but
I've seen those I'm sorry, and I was going to say those powders also, they come in like a can, like aluminum, which is a little bit more recyclable. Is that correct? I don't know. What does everyone think about that? But I've seen that more as a move towards more plastic reduction, those cans where you can scoop the powder from. Yeah. Okay, so there's more. So Julie's saying, I don't buy bottles.
Some.
Have a jug of water. I carry my own water bottle. Good. Julie, great.
Awesome. Yay.
Patricia.
Yay, go Julie.
Uh-huh. Patricia says, I was noticing I had a lot of those plastic bottles and it's not good. So I got one of the
Nice.
metal ones. Yes, right? Good. Once we
Okay,
become
cool.
aware, we make
Yeah.
changes.
Yeah.
Mhm. Okay,
Right.
so Julie's agreeing with Patricia. She uses metal too. Patricia commenting to my comment. That's so true, Danielle. When we care, we find solutions, which I
Yeah.
really think is part of the whole earth management mentality. It's
Mhm.
the solution is there. We just need to kind of find it, which we do when it's something that means a lot. And when we're not just gonna be blocked by the obstacle, like, oh, well,
Right.
forget it. I guess I
It's not easy.
just use plastic water bottles because they're easy. But when we really care, we don't get blocked by the
Yeah.
obstacle. So that's true. And then
Oh.
blueberries continue the loofah thing, she says.
Ah,
When you have a green thumb, you can grow the loofah plant
Wow, that's
yourself.
next level. That's advanced
yes.
level, I
Yeah.
think.
I think that
Yeah,
is
I've heard
expertise.
about, yeah. Actually, I do work in a garden, and the lady who runs the garden was telling me that, yeah, the loofah
Wow.
gourd plant, if you let it go to its full thing, you do get the loofah
That's
inside.
cool.
But if you can,
Wow.
some people pick them, when they're little and actually, eat them. So you don't have to let it go the whole way. I guess if you're a
Wow.
forgetful gardener, then you'll come up with
Oh my
loofahs, and if
goodness, we'll have
not,
to have a
if you're a
gardener
hungry
on here.
gardener, you'll eat them when they're little, I guess.
Ah, that's so
Wow. Thanks for inspiring us, Blueberry.
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, and then Julie was laughing at something you said, Stephanie, but we're not
Oh.
sure what that is anymore. But I'm sure that there was so many things in there. And then
Oh,
Patricia,
The laundry. Still have the cans here in Belize with the powders. Nice. Nice.
okay,
okay. Yeah.
Yeah, they are less
great.
common here, I think.
Yeah, some things you have to look for and they're more expensive, and then people kind of can
Right.
complain about
Right.
that. But
Yeah.
again, I think it's in the consumer hands. If we keep choosing that with every
Yes.
purchase is our choice, then eventually the makers will say, oh, well, we need to make the ones that the people are buying.
Right.
And the
Yep.
prices will start to compete and things
Yeah.
like that. So
Yeah.
one of the things we talk about here on Earth Management TV is how important the individual is in so many ways, which
Yep.
can be like just starting from the mind and the internal mindset, all the way to that, our purchases are our choices,
Yes.
and they're
Right.
affecting
We're
the market
voting
and the
every
makers.
time we buy something. We're
Yes.
making a
Right.
vote, aren't we? And
Yes,
Absolutely.
right.
yeah, no, those things are important to do.
Mhm.
Yeah, and there's lots of things that we can do just in terms of, do you buy something that's in a plastic container when, it's packaged in cardboard next to it? I mean,
Right.
Right.
reach for the butter that's in, in the cardboard as opposed to a plastic container.
Exactly.
And then, maybe you get a butter dish and put the butter in a butter dish as opposed to having it in the convenient,
Cardboard,
plastic
Yeah.
container. So yeah,
I've even felt like it can help us be healthier. We make healthier choices because, like,
Right.
healthier snacks and things. If you're staying away from plastic,
Yeah.
then you're going to
Right.
go for like what's in the bulk section, and you're going to get a
Right.
little bit more
Yeah.
local or
You
things
end
like
up with
this.
less processed things for
Yes.
sure. Yeah, the
Yeah.
more processed stuff tends to be packaged in plastic. Yeah. No,
Exactly.
it's really interesting how all this can kind of snowball and
Yeah.
help
Exactly.
lead a
Exactly.
healthier life. Yeah.
So it looks like Blueberry was just signing off, but she did say you are an amazing community. So thank you, Blueberry, for
Oh,
saying
thank
that.
you.
It's so great to be here with you today,
Yeah.
Stephanie, and to feel the expansion of our community.
Well, I'm very glad I could make it. And thank you for
Yes.
inviting me again.
Yes.
But Patricia's agreeing our purchase power can help the environment.
Yeah, Patricia's agreeing with
Yeah.
us. Yeah, so thank you so much, Stephanie. It's been great.
Well, is there any other last tip you might want to leave us with?
Any other last tip? Well, we are headed into summer when people like to sip those long, cool drinks through straws.
Ah,
My
straws.
other tip would be to Yeah, see if you can, maybe purchase some different kind of straws, either metal ones or whatever else they have as substitutes, but
Yeah.
or just sip directly from the glass.
Right.
You
You
try
don't
that,
always need
and
the
maybe it
straw.
might slow you
100%.
down a little bit. It might just slow you down a bit,
Ah,
going in
yeah,
such a
that's
hurry.
true.
I don't know.
That's true.
Yeah,
So anyway,
and I
yeah,
want to
but
say
think
one
about the
thing.
straws. Yeah.
I'm so glad that you brought that up, actually.
Okay.
Straws, I feel like, are a little bit of a pain point for me these days. Because one thing I want to say, maybe this will help everyone, just
Yeah.
when we go out, this is part of the habit thing.
Yeah.
When we
Yes.
go out to restaurants, you never know when they're going to give you a straw. I mean, nowadays I might just sit down and, they just I don't even like to drink the water necessarily. Like I might just be not drinking the water there, but they'll put down the glass of water with a big plastic straw sticking out of it.
Right,
Which we're
right.
gonna have to throw away even if we don't use.
Right, exactly. So it's like
Yeah.
somehow we have to say, hi, no straw. We have to
Yeah,
sit down and say,
preemptively.
"Hi, nice to meet
I
you. No
know.
straw, please, at all."
I know it's true. That's happened to me a few
Preemptively, right.
times. I
Yeah.
didn't know there was going to be a straw that would come with the drink, and then you're
Exactly.
stuck against a rock and a hard
And then
place.
I'm just in a bad mood for the lunch. I'm like, I didn't want this straw.
Yeah.
So I think this is part of the habit, and also empowering us to be able to speak up. It took
Yep.
me a while if I say, oh, no cheese, please, no gluten, like with my own dietary needs.
Right,
But
right.
also I want to be able to say no straw. I need to
There you
remember to
go.
say that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, again, it's with practice. Maybe the first couple of
Yeah.
times you'll feel a bit self-conscious saying that, but over time it'll just be part of your,
Yeah.
like you're saying, no cheese, no gluten. Oh, no straw for me.
Just
thank you.
natural.
And it'll be part of your natural conversation.
Yeah.
And the more of us who say that, the more, I think restaurants will think twice about
Exactly.
hiding them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's the
Over time.
We
power.
don't
That's the power
really
we have.
need them. I mean, life can go on without straws. It
I
can.
think
Yeah.
so too. I agree. I
I know.
agree.
And maybe that circles
Yeah.
us back to the habits thing. Like that's not going to
Yeah.
happen overnight. One person not
Right. Right.
refusing a straw, but the more and more people who start to do it, and over more and more
Mhm.
time, we can start.
Yeah.
To
I agree. I agree.
So don't give up hope that your
No.
use of
No.
plastic is making a difference.
Yeah, keep making choices and keep
Right.
making habits. And I can see Patricia saying Stephanie gave her some good ideas. So she wants to thank you
Oh.
so much for coming on today.
I'm very glad you could make it, Patricia. Nice to
And
meet you.
she's letting us know that they don't have straws in Belize anymore.
Wow.
Wow. So
There
she's
we
using
go.
metal ones from Amazon.
Cool.
Oh, that's so great. Yes. Let's all envision a no straw world.
Yeah. That would be a great thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, well, Stephanie, I think are we ready to
Yeah,
wrap
I think
up?
so.
Yeah, we're so appreciative of your time and all of the insights that you shared with us. Yeah, me too. There were things I didn't think of, so I really appreciate it.
Yes, thank you, Stephanie.
Very
And thank you
welcome.
all of you guys. We loved hearing your ideas and where your country is or where the town is that you live in, what's going on. That's super informative and fun to know about.
Yeah, yeah. So keep up your passion, Stephanie. Keep spreading the message. Thank you. Have a wonderful Earth Day.
Bye, everybody.
Bye,
Enjoy the rest of Earth Day.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Oh, awesome.
Wow, that was so nice. We get so excited, right? We feel energized when we're like talking about sustainability tips and little things that we can do that are practical. And we help each other. Thank you all for your sharing and your questions and your comments. Like we're helping each other here, and that's the purpose of our community.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. So just a quick shout out, if you are new to us or if you're enjoying what's happening, please do share with your friends and family, because we are, for every one subscriber we get today on Earth Day, we're going to just be donating $10 to the Canopy Project. So please keep that in mind. It's a great organization and we're happy.
Yeah, I think we dropped a link in the description.
There's
about
a link
more
in the
about
description of the video if you want to learn more about it. Absolutely.
Check it out.
Absolutely.
Okay, and Patricia enjoyed, Julie enjoyed. Thank you for all the tips and ideas. Thank you, Julie. Yes, we can do this together, Patricia is saying.
Awesome.
Yes, I hope that we can feel inspired to do this together and the importance of coming together and talking about these things.
Yes. Yes. All right. So thank you so much, everybody. And it's time for our now second special guest, who you may already know. She has joined us on EMTV before, but she's a part of our New Humanity podcast, and she has contributed her mindful mantra videos here. So in case you don't know her, she does have her own YouTube channel with over 300,000 subscribers, helping people improve their mental health through what's called brain education, which she's going to share a little more with us about today.
Yeah, I feel like her channel is like our big sister channel because brain education is so important. We're talking about that here. You know, I'm talking about that a lot in the conscious conversations when we talk about human management. How do we manage our minds? We manage our minds through managing our body, our brain, our, emotional landscape. So we need to understand about educating the brain. It's very much important. It's very much connected to the mission of Earth Management TV and the mission of raising human consciousness, which is really understanding that all the answers are within us because we have a brain and we need to take care of our brain. So we want to understand that on very practical levels. So we thought that it would be great to invite Linda on to share more about some of these, the practical part, but also some tips, some exercises. We've been kind of sitting here for a while. So if we want to get our brain refreshed with some brain boosting exercises, Linda's going to share that with us as well. She's also a dear friend of ours, and we're happy to bring her on to help us all awaken our senses a little more, because again, this is at the root and heart of our mission, awakening our senses so we become aware of this internal system, which I've been saying all day. And then, like we were just talking about with Stanie, so we can make those external actions, but with this internal understanding, I think that our effect will be amplified.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. All right. So let's welcome her on. Linda, if you're there, please join us. Thank you.
Hey!
Happy Hello. Happy
Earth Day. Welcome, Linda. Thank you so much for being here. It's exciting to be here with you.
Yeah, thank you, Courtney. Thank you, Danielle, for inviting me to the EMTV live for Earth Day. I'm very, very excited to be here.
Welcome. We introduced you as our big sister channel and our dear friend. And you know what you're doing at BETV is so important to the earth. I think that humanity will change through these kinds of, awakening these senses and awakening to our brain. And then through that change, we'll change the earth. So we want to hear what you have to teach us about that today.
Yes. Yeah, so as Danielle and Courtney so lovingly and so greatly mentioned before I came on, my name is Linda Yunjin, and I'm a YouTuber for a channel called Brain Education TV. And in a nutshell, brain education is an academic study from Korea that basically teaches people how to connect to their brain, understand the full power of their brain, and create their world physically, emotionally, mentally, within and externally using the power of their brain. So I'm here because Danielle and Courtney invited me to talk about the connection between the brain and earth management that they talk about on EMTV. Yeah. So hopefully after my little sharing and after some exercises, we'll have some better idea about first of all, like the importance of the brain, and then also how we can utilize our brain better to create a better world for everybody.
Hey, we're so excited.
Great.
Yes. Yeah. So before I start, I want to open up with one statistic that was actually kind of shocking for me to see when I looked it up online. But mental health is a big, big issue these days. I feel like, especially after the pandemic, something about mental health and like the world, how we're changing so quickly in the last like couple of years, the numbers have really like spiked significantly, and now it's become like a trending key term. I don't know, for better or for worse, it's been a trending key term these days for people to talk more about mental health. But did you know, when I looked up online, that 1 in 4 people will experience some kind of mental health condition problem at some point in their lives? That's 25% of the entire population on the earth that will experience some kind of mental health condition. That's a lot.
Wow, that's a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's sad.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is very sad. But
Mm.
that's our reality, you know? And I think that kind of speaks to how important mental health is, but then
Yeah.
also how important the brain is. You know, I think that's a
Mhm.
good first place for us to start this conversation. I feel like the brain is one of those organs where it's like, we know it's there and we kind of understand intellectually that it's very important, but we don't really think much about it. You know, I feel like other organs like heart disease or like, you know, liver or respiratory disease. I feel like those get a little bit more emphasis and focus, if that makes any sense. I feel like the brain we just kind of take for granted. Do you guys feel this way too?
Yeah.
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 Yeah. And also, we're definitely not looking towards it for any kind of solution when we think about mental health. When we think about mental health crisis, it's just kind of chaos. So it's really interesting then to like hone in on the brain. I think we need that focus.
Yeah. And if we look at the brain very, very just objectively, it literally is the control center of everything that happens within our body. But going beyond just like keeping our body alive and making sure all the organs and things are functioning properly, it's from the brain that we literally create our reality because our brain processes our thinking, which processes our emotions, our perceptions about myself, perceptions about other people, perceptions about events, situations, how I perceive different things that happen to me. Some person might perceive something that happened, the same thing can happen, but one person can perceive it as something good and somebody can perceive it as something negative and turn it into trauma, right? But it's like they experience the same thing. So literally it's through the brain we create our whole entire reality inside of ourselves and outside of ourselves.
So it really affects the way we experience life, period.
Yeah, that's so true. Like we need to have a healthy processing center to be able to process life, how we live it.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think what I just mentioned is like a very kind of scary thought, but a strong thought that two people can literally go through the same experience and come out with two different outcomes.
Right.
One person can use that same experience for growth. Another person can process it because of how their brain is working, can process it in a very negative way, and it can become trauma that holds them back for the rest of their lives.
Be angry about it for decades. Yeah.
Right. Which is like the magic and the danger of the each human individual. So we need to understand how to handle that.
Well, I think your shirt describes it really well too, right? Like I think part of the point of brain education is to remind ourselves how powerful we are, right? Like remind ourselves that we can be in control of that and can be affecting that actively rather than passively.
Right. For those, if anyone can't see, Linda's shirt says, "Take back your brain." It's perfect.
Yeah. And this message is very powerful also because, like I said, the brain is something that we don't really like think about consciously. And we don't realize that we unknowingly allow so many things to affect our brain. Then we realize, you know, with the things that we let in, information that we let in, how we choose to process things. There's so many things that we put into our brain unknowingly that alter our reality. So yeah. Okay, so first of all, I just wanted to set the foundation for how important the brain is and how it's something that we really do need to talk about, just objectively speaking, that if somebody can manage their brain, they can really manage their life. And if they can manage their life, it radiates into all different facets of creating the reality around them, which bleeds into, you know, starting from your small circle, going to a little bit bigger, expanding out to the world and humanity, which is what Earth management talks about.
Exactly. Right.
Yeah. And then also with the brain, and then I talked about mental health too, is that sometimes mental health is one of those things that can go undetected too.
Because you can't literally see it. Yeah. Okay.
There are lots of people, like, you know, even celebrities who they seem so bubbly and happy and like they're comedians and they make people laugh, but you hear stories about how they struggled with mental health and then they die of drug overdose or they like commit suicide. So the point is, mental health is not one of those things that like is evident from the surface just by looking
Right.
at somebody.
Mhm.
And I think I'm a prime example of that because I used to struggle with mental health too. Like I had pretty bad depression, but it was one of those like high functioning depression where from the outside, you couldn't tell I was depressed because I was very good at like being normal and pretending everything is okay, distracting people because I didn't want to look like I had mental health problems.
Right.
So mental health, because it can go undetected, I feel like, first of all, starting with some awareness and some honesty about where we are, where I am, and knowing what I have inside of me is a great place for us to start, for everybody to start to take care of their brain.
Yes.
Mhm,
Yeah, I think we
mhm.
would agree.
Yeah.
Yep.
Self-awareness.
Mhm.
Yeah. And then if you think about, let's imagine that I would say it's safe to say that most people are not aware of their exact condition, how they are living day to day. Most people are kind of just living on autopilot, going through the motion of going to work, paying the bills, the rat race, right? The cycle.
Maybe until something pokes them.
Right, right. And if something
Right.
pokes them, they're actually very lucky because
Oh,
it's an opportunity for them to wake up. But when I imagine most people are living in a way that they don't feel their body or detect anything inside. So when we imagine people like this are creating our world around us, it means that these people, because they're not aware of how they are, we are creating a world that maybe necessarily we don't want to create.
Right.
Unconsciously.
Right. Yeah, I was kind of talking about that a little with the global citizen conversation is like feeling our interconnectedness. For that, you need to feel, you need empathy. So if there's numbness, then there's disconnect. And then if this thing is hurting, I don't care. It doesn't affect me. Like, or I'm gaining and I don't care if you're losing, like, because there's a lack of feeling. So it breeds so many problems, what you're talking about.
Yeah. Yeah. The numbing effect actually has a really scary consequences when you
Yeah.
think about it like that.
And then if we look around the world right now, the state of how things are going with like climate change and just wars going on in 2024, I think it's safe to say that maybe we are unknowingly creating a world that we don't really want to create. Because I think it's safe to say that nobody wants to live in a world where climate is changing like this. Nobody wants to live in a world where we still have war with all this technology and modernization. We still have like social class division. We still have racism and prejudice. We still have all of these problems, maybe even more so than before, even though we're more advanced. So then it makes us wonder, like, why is this happening? We think we know better. We definitely have more resources. We definitely have more conveniences. We're not fighting for our lives anymore. But why are we creating this kind of world that we don't necessarily want? And I think it's because most people are not aware of the state of their brain. And because the state of their brain determines how they act, how they think, how they choose, how they write their lives, it bleeds into how that story that they write for themselves gets written for other people and the world around them. So I think we're creating this society where we're creating it passively. We're not really creating it actively because it's coming from a brain that we're not aware of its right condition. It's kind of like this. Like if I have pink colored sunglasses and I don't know that I have pink colored sunglasses and I'm looking at the world, I look up at the sky and I say, oh yeah, the sky is pink.
Right.
And then you create a reality saying, like, okay, well, this is pink, that is pink, this is pink, blah, 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 blah. But it's not. It's I have a filter. I have a filter on it. I'm not seeing things for what they are, which means I'm creating some false reality around me without me realizing.
Yeah.
Right. I feel like a good way to say that is like we're creating it passively, or even we can say we're creating it like unconsciously. We're like unconsciously creating, but we're still creators, but we're unconsciously creating. We need to become conscious if we want to make this shift.
And remember really how powerful we are. I think we forget. And then of course, if we have mental health issues, why would we believe that we're powerful at all?
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, hang on, we have a couple comments here. Patricia's saying this is so true. She's resonating. And then we have Dawn Karasima. Happy Earth Day, Dawn. Thanks for popping in. She says, thank you for providing this content and sharing hope and brightness in the world. You are beautiful.
Yeah.
Thank you, Dawn. Thank you for visiting us. Okay, so
Yeah.
please continue,
Yeah.
Linda. Yeah, this is
Yeah.
great.
But if you guys do have any questions or comments about what Linda's talking about, what we're talking about, please do let us know. I'm sure Linda would be happy to receive your questions too.
Yes.
Yeah, and then kind of with that foundation, when we tie it to earth management just basically is this idea of managing the earth, which I think ultimately means to create a reality that we want, not something that we just create unconsciously because we're not aware. Because the word manage, when you're managing something, you're taking care of it with intention, and you're taking care of it through actions where you come from, you're knowing what you're doing, like you're doing it intentionally and taking deliberate action to create the outcome that you want. Yeah, I think that's the essence of managing something. Besides, compared to not managing something, when I'm not managing something, I'm just letting it run automatically. But when I'm managing something, I'm taking deliberate action because I'm guiding it towards the result that I want.
Right.
Managing a store, managing sales, managing a family, I'm taking deliberate actions because I want it to go a certain way, hoping that this outcome will come. I take those steps, right? So I think earth management is the same way. We shift from changing, from letting, okay, well, let's let the people in power deal with this stuff. You know, like it's not me. Like, oh, I have no say in anything. Not just letting the earth run its course until who knows where it goes to. Changing the perspective from that to, okay, taking deliberate action through my choices, through my actions for a future of the earth that I want, for an outcome that I want. And if I imagine everybody thinking with that kind of mindset, all 8 billion of us thinking with that kind of mindset, I can't imagine why we won't be able to create the outcome that we want.
Yeah. And even underneath choices, well, you know, Danielle and I talk a lot about, you know, managing your own brain, because that has an impact on the people around you too. Even if you're not actively choosing to say something negative, but you're really angry inside, that has some sort of effect on our environment as well.
Right. Right. This internal condition and how much it affects the external condition, and how important it is to take care of both together.
Yeah. Yeah. And it doesn't take much thinking or like, you know, understanding to know that we really do affect each other. Because we've all been in a situation where maybe someone was upset for some reason. And then because they were upset, they got kind of snippy with me. And then because this person kind of got snippy with me, now I'm upset. And now I'm snippy with the next person. And then now they're upset. And then now everybody is snippy with each other today.
Right.
Chain reaction.
Exactly. That kind of sounds like the condition of the world in some ways, right?
That's what I'm saying. So it doesn't take much thinking to know that, like, how I feel really affects how I treat other people every single day, every single moment, expanding out to weeks, months, years. And how I treat that person really affects how their reality is created for that day, and how their reality is created for that week or even that moment. And then that person having their sphere of influence, how that affects other people. And if we really expand it out, one unhappy person has the power to create hundreds of thousands of unhappy people.
It's so true.
And hopefully the other way around too.
Right. We talk a lot about how important we are. So it goes both ways, right? Yeah.
And that's the hope. I think that's the power, right? That we have this ability to choose the outcome if we are aware of how powerful we are in our minds. So just as much we have power to do harm, to create hundreds of thousands of unhappy people if I'm unhappy, we have the equal amount of power, 50-50, equal amount of power for me to know that, okay, well, the other way too, if I'm happy, if I know how to make myself happy, then I have the power to create hundreds of thousands of happy people too.
Yeah. Isn't that a concept in itself, knowing how to make myself happy?
Right.
Like we don't talk about that enough.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. So I was gonna point that out. So that I'm glad you caught that, because that's where we really should put our focus on. If I can see this objectively, that I have the power to make people happy, or I have the power to make people unhappy, and it all determines by how I feel, we can't just sit and be like, okay, well, let me wait until people make me happy, or things make me happy, or my
Or
environment
people
is
around me are
perfect.
happy. Yeah.
Right. My environment is perfectly right so that I feel happy. You may never be happy if you wait for external things to be perfectly in line to make me happy. Okay, well, if then that's the case, how can I create my life, or how can I be somebody that has the power to make myself happy no matter what is happening around me? That is a question to ponder about. That is a question where the real homework, I guess, the real work in being aware of myself and taking responsibility for myself, I think comes into play. I think that's the right question we should be asking. If I see it like this, the real question, not, oh, how can I change my husband to do what I want? Or how can I change my coworkers to do what I want? That's not the right question. The question is, no matter what my husband, no matter what my coworkers are doing, how can I create my own happiness?
Yeah. So maybe jumping back to Stephanie's talk,
Great.
a little bit going against the grain to be able to do that. Really coming into your own power to be able to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's a quote by Rumi that I really love that I think just captures this so well. And the quote says, "Yesterday I was so clever, I wanted to change the world. Today I am wise, so I'm changing myself."
Yeah. It's
Love
perfect.
that.
Exactly.
And that kind of ties into this topic too. You know, we're talking on Earth management, we're talking about changing the world and changing humanity and fixing world's problems, which is great. I think that's definitely something that's very, very great to do. But going beyond that, taking one more step, realizing that changing the world doesn't come from me ignoring my problems and telling everybody, you're the problem, you fix this, you fix that, changing outside, but I'm not changing. You know, like that might work to a certain extent, but I feel like the true change that we talk about on EMTV, and the true change that everybody really wants deep down inside, and everybody is working in their own way through their own nonprofits, or through their own work, and through people like Stephanie, you know, people who are trying to change the world in their own way. I feel like, you know, it starts with a change in myself and realizing that if I change, that is the most powerful gift, the most powerful, I guess, catalyst for world change that I could give to humanity.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And I think that's why I really got into brain education, because for me, that was kind of the way that I saw that I could change myself, because I had to come face to face with the hard truth that, you know what, I thought the world was the problem, but I think I'm the problem.
Yeah.
Or at least it starts with me, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was,
Or-
I was miserable because my brain wasn't healthy. You know, I didn't know how to create happiness. I was blaming other people. Like, I wasn't taking care of my emotions. I wasn't taking care of my thoughts. And no matter how much I try to spin the story about how it's everybody else's fault except me, ultimately I had to come face to face with the truth that, you know, it's the root of the problem is that my brain is processing everything in a negative way.
Yeah, right.
Right.
Right. So I think this is a really powerful part, like understanding the role the brain plays here, that it's really about my brain, because that takes my power back, knowing, well, my brain's kind of like a computer, and then I can shift it, I can restructure it to work in a more positive, healthy way.
Yeah.
Because we all want to do this like from within, and then how, right? So we're learning about how the role our brain plays gives us, I think, a lot of hope and empowerment.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think true wisdom comes from knowing that I hold more power and also more responsibility than I'd like to admit. And then from knowing that truth, acting accordingly, knowing that I have more power and responsibility than I'd like to admit.
Yeah.
Because that's a scary thought, you know, like we think we want more power and more responsibility, but I think a lot of people are afraid of that, you know, like if afraid of having more power, afraid of admitting that we have more impact, that our small actions actually do impact the earth more than we think. And because of that, we have more responsibility than we'd like to shoulder.
Yeah.
But if your mental health is in good shape, maybe it's at least more possible to consider that fact.
Yeah, that's true. So I think kind of tying it back, everything that we're talking about is, I think maybe an important first step for people who want to change the world or people who want to practice earth management. I know Danielle has been talking about this, like human management, you know, personal management for the earth. I think it starts with, first of all, becoming aware of my current condition. You know, maybe taking some time to like sit with myself and then really honestly assessing, where am I? How do I feel? You know, what am I carrying? And am I someone that even maybe I don't want to admit, but I'm somebody who needs to take care of their mental health a little bit better? Is my mental health suffering a little bit? Is my mental wellness suffering a little bit? And knowing that it's okay to admit that. There's nothing wrong with needing help. If you are someone who is sick, think about it. If your friend told you were sick, would you be like, oh my God, what's wrong with you? You're terrible. You're awful. No, you would try to help your friend get better.
Right.
So with that same mindset, like me, if I look at myself and I realize that I need help, having that like compassion and empathy for myself to be like, okay, there's nothing wrong with needing help. This is just where I am. At least if I can see myself honestly, I can take steps now to fix the problem.
Yeah, and sometimes that requires some support. Absolutely.
Yeah. But if I don't know what problem I have, then I can never take the steps to fix the problem because I'm not aware of the problem.
Right.
And if I'm not aware of the problem, I'm just living this autopilot life. And if I live an autopilot life, I continue the cycle that most people are doing, unconsciously creating the world around me through my non-mindful actions that affect me, other people, and the earth.
Right. So we have a little comment here from Patricia. Linda, she is resonating that the fact that the change comes from within is so important. And she said, oh, OMG, that is so true, Linda. We're so afraid to admit we have more power than we really want to admit. We hide behind having no voice or power than we do have that power. Yeah. So she's resonating with you. Yeah. Thank you, Patricia. Yeah.
Thanks, Patricia.
I think this is a really important point.
Yeah.
And is this a good time for you to guide us through an exercise, or was there anything else you wanted to talk about before we do that?
Yes, I was going to get to the exercise.
Okay,
great.
Yeah. So now that we kind of like laid that about changing myself and how that affects the world and radiates out, we don't want to now get stuck in like, okay, well, I have to do something grand for myself now. Like I have to like do something big because I realize I have so many things I need to work on. Do I need to like go somewhere and like meditate in the mountains and you know, cut contact? You know, we like to think kind of big if we're talking about like, I need to now fix myself to fix the world.
Right.
Yeah, I can relate to that.
But the exercise I'm going to share with you is scaling it back, kind of coming to the center, coming to myself, and being simple. And honestly, taking care of my mental health can be very, very simple. It doesn't have to be complicated. And what I'm going to share with you today is something as simple as tapping your brain and breathing stress out.
Great. Sounds great.
Releasing stress from my brain is a great first step to taking care of my mental health. Because there's so many things in this world that give me stress, make my brain tight, tighter than I maybe am aware of, or tighter than I'd like to admit. And no matter where I go in the mountains to meditate, if my brain is tight, you're not addressing the root of the issue, right? So
Right. It's going to follow you.
Yeah,
Right.
I've heard that.
Right. So something as simple as releasing stress from my brain when I have stress, when I feel stress, can be a powerful way to just shift your energy, shift your mood very quickly wherever you are for free, no matter what.
Right.
Because there are many places and times and occurrences where we do get stressed at work, at home, in the car, in traffic. So if we can do this, you can quickly change your energy wherever you are.
Yeah. Okay,
Great.
I'm ready.
Me too.
I was excited for this event, but also a little nervous. So I'm ready. I'm ready.
Yeah, so I was just gonna do a quick, like maybe 3-minute experience.
Okay.
For those of you who are watching, when you have more time, please feel free to do this exercise as long as you want. But just for the sake of kind of moving this live stream along, I'm just going to do a 3-minute experience to get a feel of what to do and how to do it. Please take some time to do it for longer. You'll feel the effects more deeply.
And do you have a recommendation, Linda? Like when you say longer, do you recommend like people try for 10 minutes or 20 minutes? What would be like an optimal if they had more time?
I would say 10 minutes is good.
Okay,
And then
great.
repeat maybe like sets of 10 minutes. Maybe you could do 10 minutes in the morning, 10 minutes after lunch, 10 minutes in the evening. So repeated sets, but if you do longer than 10 minutes, it might like your arms might be sore, your mind might be wandering everywhere. It might not be effective.
Okay, great.
Okay.
All right, so everyone, if you can, if you're able, I would suggest please sit at the edge of your seat. So you're not leaning back and your posture is not like this. Yes, at the edge of your seat with your feet flat on the floor. And first of all, rest your hands on your knees, palms facing upward. Just close your eyes and feel your body for a few seconds. I know we shared a lot of information on this live. Your mind might be outside wandering. Bring your mind back into your body and take a deep breath in through your nose. Exhale out through your mouth. One more time, deep breath in. And exhale out through your mouth. Okay, now open your eyes. Bring your fingertips like this. Relax your wrists. And imagine you are dropping your fingertips to the top of your head. So not like this. You see how stiff this looks? Very relaxed like this with your wrists, like you're dropping your fingers at the top of your head.
Okay.
This tapping, the intention is to break up blockage, break up tension, like you're knocking on your brain. Hello, wake up, I'm here.
Feels pretty good.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like this. Yeah. And then to the side. And back. And the base of your skull. To the top again. Down to the temples. Back. Base of your skull. Okay, and tap everywhere. Tap everywhere where you feel some pain, where you feel some stiffness in your head or in your brain for 15 seconds. And then we'll do step 2. Okay, stop. Rest your hands on your knees again. Close your eyes, feel your head. If you're very sensitive to energy, you might already feel some tingling, movement, relaxation happening in your body. Just whatever you feel, notice what you're feeling now. Yes. Okay, now open your eyes. So now that was just tapping. This time I will help you move energy a little bit more effectively with mindful breathing too. So we're going to do the same tapping movements, but see the difference, what breath does for pushing stressful energy out of the body. Tapping is good too, but when you mix tapping and breathing, it creates an explosion of powerfully moving energy in and out of your body. So we're going to do the same tapping motion. So bring your fingers to the top of your head. Now this time, breathe in through your nose and imagine you are pulling your breath all the way into your brain. Fresh energy comes into your brain, and then gather all heaviness, stress from your brain and breathe it out through your mouth. Visualize it coming out of your mouth like this. Gather stressful energy and push it out of your body. So you can close your eyes so you can visualize this movement. Breathe in, bring fresh oxygen to your brain, gather all stressful energy, and exhale it out through your mouth. Good. Now tap your temples. Same thing here. Focus on your temples. Breathe in. Into your brain, all stressful energy, gather it up and push it out through your mouth. Good. Now back of your head. Breathe in. Exhale out. Heavy energy, stressful energy is leaving your body through your exhale. Base of your skull, breathe in. And out. Now forehead, tap your forehead. And again here, breathe in deeply into your brain. All heavy energy, gather it up and push it out through your mouth. Okay, one more time, top of your head. Excuse me.
Bless you.
Thank you. Breathing in deeply. And exhaling out. Okay, stop. Bring your hands down to your knees. Keeping your eyes closed, feel your brain one more time. Yes, and feel the difference between your brain after you mindfully breathed fresh energy into your brain and exhaling out all the tension from your brain. Great. Would you open your eyes? Yeah. Can you feel that using your breath moves the energy in your brain much more powerfully? Yeah, if you're
Yeah.
sensitive to energy, and if you really focus on visualizing this in and out, your mindful breathing makes the tapping way more powerful to be able to push unwanted energy from your body, especially something that's stuck like stress.
Yeah.
So if you guys can type in the chat how you guys feel, I'm very curious. Like, I feel calm, maybe you feel a little sleepy or tingling, magnetic pulsing, heat, coldness. Some people have tears come out their eyes, whatever you feel. Yeah, whatever you feel, please share in the chat. I'd love to see. But even something as simple as this, you can utilize at any time to change your stressful state into a more calm, peaceful state. Because I think even me, I hope you guys too, I feel much more calmer and peaceful. And I know that being in this state will affect how I treat myself, treat other people, and now go about my day from here on out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely feel calmer and like more clear. There's less activity. My eyes definitely watered. I kept wanting to yawn too. So that felt like a release in itself.
Yeah, a release, I would say, is a good word. I feel so much lighter. And also, it was like the more I was sort of releasing a kind of heavy feeling, the more I also became of like, oh, my neck is holding tension in my jaw. And I kind of wanted to stretch those areas. I felt more like awareness. I felt more relaxed and more aware of myself.
Yeah.
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 So in brain education, we call this technique brain respiration, because you're breathing into your brain and
Mhm.
out, not just into your lungs. You're breathing into your brain and out, using the power of your brain to visualize a different route. So that's, again, going back to how powerful your brain is to
Yeah.
alter your reality and change the world.
Yeah, I think it's so powerful to combine it with the tapping too, because
Yeah.
the breathing and the tapping, they're like both these kind of purification exercises. So I feel like easier to concentrate and then like extra refreshed.
Yeah, and the visualization we do in the full moon meditations, but it's so different when you turn it inward and you're doing it within your own body. I think that is a really powerful tool.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you guys think? Please.
Yeah, it was great. I don't see any comments yet, but I see Patricia said she'll have to do it later.
Yeah.
She might be in a place where she can't tap her brain.
Yeah.
It's possible.
We understand it's a Monday.
Yeah, it's an exercise that needs to be done probably, you don't want to do it like standing in line at the bank or something like that. But that's good because it's like carving out time for yourself to take care of your brain and to take care of your inner condition. Yeah.
Well, that's kind of all I wanted to share today. I just want to talk about the importance of the brain, about what really earth management is, how that relates to the brain, and how it really starts with changing me, changing my energy, changing my condition, and a very, very simple way that I can change my condition at any time in even just 3 minutes.
Yeah. And I see Kristen Moore is just saying brain respiration. Oh, I like that. This is a new concept. So this is a very important, simple tool for us to be able to use to take, and the better our brain breathes, right? Like as Linda was talking about, this helps our mental health. It helps us take a moment to shift our perceptions, perspectives. If we're wearing those glasses on our eyes and clear everything and kind of come back to a neutral state.
Yes.
Yeah.
So if you enjoyed this little 3-minute experience, please do check out Linda's YouTube channel. There's a description for it in this video description. You can find a link for Brain Education TV. You'll see her face there. And lots of different kinds of experiences, all sorts of different kind of exercises you can do, including, I think you have a couple on brain respiration.
Yeah. I think it's great to check some of those out. Brain education and all the different 10-minute exercises or 3-minute exercises are so important. They're a vital part of earth management. So it's great to be able to collaborate with you. Linda, thank you for joining us today.
Yeah, thank you for taking
so
the
much
time.
for having me.
Yeah, thank
We
you for
had fun.
coming. Yeah. Have a wonderful Earth Day. Thank you so much.
Happy Earth Day, everyone.
Bye.
Bye, Linda. Awesome. So I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you feel a little more relaxed.
Yeah, how are your brains feeling? My brain's feeling better.
And a little sleepy, maybe, but much more relaxed.
Yeah, so that was great. Thank you all. I hope you enjoy that. It's nice to sort of add that element of I'm often talking about energy and energy exercises, and I know we're doing energy meditation here, but sometimes it's nice to like do a practical little exercise tip. So I hope you enjoyed that. Just a short reminder here for every new subscriber today, as part of our Earth Day celebration, we are donating $10 to the Canopy Project. So if you haven't yet checked it out, we do have it in our description. You can read more about the Canopy Project, but trees are something that we feel passionate about, plastic reduction, oceans. We feel obviously passionate about all of those things at Earth Management TV. So any way you'd like to support us, please do. We appreciate it. And okay, great. Thank you for your comments. And next up is our full moon meditation with Courtney. So tomorrow is the full moon. So she's going to lead you through a guided meditation. And I think you're going to be able to really connect with that powerful moon energy, so we can all send healing energy to the earth together. I will be joining you from outside. So let me hand it over to Courtney. Okay, let me just grab my... Okay. Oh. There we go.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm so excited that for all of you guys joining today. I'm so appreciative you guys would take time to celebrate Earth Day with us, whether you're here for the whole time or just popping in. Yes, please get some of your coworkers to subscribe. That totally counts. We're so excited to yeah, donate to the Canopy Project. So if you know them, that's awesome. Please do, if they're willing. All right, so we are going to change gears just a little bit here. If you are new to EMTV, we do offer these monthly full moon meditations to really create a space where we can meditate together and envision the planet healing, restoring her natural balance. And this is because you guys are getting this message all day, but we do this because our intentions, our consciousness, our energy have the potential and the power to create a huge impact on the world around us. And remembering that and awakening to that is so important, maybe now more than ever. So our thoughts, our emotions, our feelings, and of course our actions are what we are contributing to the collective at any given time. And in addition, whatever we're focusing on, maybe you've heard this before too, whatever we're focusing on, we are giving energy to. Where your mind goes, energy flows, right? So if we're focused on everything that's wrong with the world, while it's good to be aware of what's going on around you, we can get really frustrated by that. We can get really angry at certain governments, policies, groups of people, and that moves us out of this state of peace. So what we really try to do in these meditations is focus on envisioning, what would it really look like in an ideal scenario? Coexisting together, living in harmony with nature. Can you really use your brain to help see and paint that picture? Because instead of just thinking about it, it can actually start to become, more and more of our reality, and that's really cool and really powerful, and another way that we can contribute to creating a better Earth. So you may have even heard of this concept where we want to raise our consciousness, we want to expand our consciousness, and this term that I'm just learning about is raising it to the fifth dimension of consciousness, and this is because this is the consciousness of unconditional love without conditions. It's the consciousness of peace and joy. And this is really can be the key to healing our planet, because when we feel peaceful, we tend to deal with life's challenges, our life's conflicts in such a different way. And as we just talked about with Linda, managing your own brain and creating your own happiness has a lot to do with that. And it actually is really important. And I think from this place of even calm, we'll be able to find more solutions that are good for all humans and all life together. So of course, meditation is a tool to get us into this fifth dimensional consciousness. We can focus ourselves into the stillness inside. And from that place, that's where we want to imagine peace on Earth, and this in healthy and balanced environment coming back to the Earth, right? So I think personally, the changes we want to make to our world now, they're not going to happen through force. They're not going to happen through efforting. They're not going to happen through policy making, lawmaking. All those things are very important. But from enough people raising their vibration to want to make natural choices that are good for them and good for everyone on their own. So that's at least what I believe and what we talk a lot about here on EMTV. I'm curious to know what you guys think. Oh, Patricia said she already got some new subscribers for us. Thank you so much, Patricia. More money to the Canopy Project today. Thank you so much. But yes, please do let me know if any of this is resonating with you guys, or if you have questions. I'm happy to address those too. So all that said, the best thing that we can do for our planet right now is to build our own ability to get back into a state of peace, back into presence, back into stillness, and back into a state of hopefulness for our future. So again, that's our mission, to raise our vibration, our frequency. And we do this at the full moon because, as you may have noticed, there's a lot of energy at the full moon. It's a time of completion. It's a time of creation. So like big energy we can use towards this vision of a beautiful future. So again, if this is resonating, we do this once a month. And if you get added to our newsletter, you can get notifications and reminders about those. That's also in the video description. Okay, so enough said. Let us prepare for our meditation. So if you're not already, please have a seat comfortably. And I want you to take a deep breath in and out. And mouth exhale. Yeah, breathing in comfortably through your nose. And mouth exhale. As Linda just had us do, that is a very simple way to help the body release stress. Again, breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. Breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. Good. And additionally, we're going to do a little tapping here too. So I'll have you start to tap on your chest. And as we do so, you're welcome to close your eyes. And I want us to just together set our intention for this meditation to raise our vibration, to come into a state of presence, synchronicity, and healing for ourselves, for our family, and for our planet. And as you tap, I want you to feel your chest, sometimes breathing out your mouth. And take a moment to tune into your body so you can feel where you're seated. And as you exhale, almost imagining sinking down, sinking into your body, resting into your body, resting into the earth. And know that it is safe to be in your body. It's safe to be in this moment now. Breathing in through your nose and out through your mouth. Breathing in through your nose. Breathing out. Good. So the tapping is helping to release tension and open our heart. As you feel the vibration going into your chest, breathing in and out. Excellent. Now I'll have you tap your fingertips together, relaxing your shoulders. And if you're comfortable, you can close your eyes again. Breathing in and out. Breathing in and out. And this is awakening our ability to feel our life force energy through our hands and through our fingers. Okay. Now you can stop tapping and move your hands a little apart and then closer without touching. Focus on your hands, your fingers, and also the space in between your hands and fingers. And with your eyes closed, you can look towards your hands and fingers and start to visualize a bright, white, warm light in between your hands. That light turning into a beautiful full moon, you can imagine. And feeling warm, nurturing energy between your hands. And let that light shine into your body and into your chest. And through your imagination, you can let the full moon between your hands start to turn beautiful blues and greens as it transforms into the earth. So you're imagining the earth is hovering between your hands. And I want you to pour your love and gratitude for the earth out from your heart, out from your hands, and into the earth, so that the earth becomes encapsulated and surrounded by warm, nurturing, healing light. You can imagine many people all over the world are also sending their love, their gratitude out to the earth. And that energy, that light, is allowing the earth to recover, to restore harmony. And I want you to imagine that all the bodies of water, rivers, lakes, oceans, are starting to purify and return to their original state. And I want you to imagine beautiful, strong trees are filling the air with fresh oxygen. Flora and fauna are healthy and thriving. Fruits and vegetables are abundant and available for everyone. And all animals are free, are healthy, are safe. And I want you to imagine a society of people living together, free, without fear. All different kinds of people coexisting and living in peace. People that you love, that you trust, and very naturally, they consider the earth in all that they do. And just take a moment to visualize that world, healthy, balanced, and peaceful world. And you can truly feel at home. And with all this energy you've gathered within yourself, I want you to turn your hands forward and imagine sending this energy and your intentions out into the world around you. And imagine that extending out into the space you're in, the room you're in, your home, your office, filling with energy. Expanding the town you're in, the county you're in, to the country you're in, and beyond until the whole planet is surrounded by your wish and dream, the truth and the feeling of being home, belonging. And this is a good time if there are particular people, organizations, or environmental causes you would like to send energy to, you can envision them now, already healed, problem already solved, already balanced, already achieved. Take a moment now to send your heart out to the world. Great. Now, mindfully, you can bring your hands to rest on your heart center and really pulling that nice, warm, nurturing energy into your whole body. Taking a deep breath in and out. Deeply breathe in and out. Melting tension from your shoulders. relaxing the space around your heart. And once more, you can breathe in, out. You can open your eyes and start to sweep down from your chest to your lower abdomen, grounding your energy. And then you can rest your hands down. Let's take one more breath together, breathing in and out. Good. So I hope you enjoyed your meditation. Would you take a moment to write in the chat box, what you felt, what you experienced, what were you able to see, what were you able to feel? I know for me, I was very grateful for this time to spend together. It's powerful to meditate on your own, but I think even more powerful when we do it at the same time, when we do it with the same wish and our similar wish and dream behind of it. So I'm just really grateful for all of you for being here, and for choosing to take this time to focus inward and send your heart out to the world. Yeah, so please let us know what you felt. We'll be hoping and wishing for your comments as we welcome Danielle back. All right.
Wow, that was so great. I was out there. Yeah, so peaceful. I feel like it's been such a great couple of hours because we kind of started with a lot of conversation, right? And this global citizen, but what we really then did was like we were being that since then. So we talked about sustainability tips and we saw everybody's passion. And then we kind of led into these energy exercises with Linda and understanding about the importance of our brain, which I feel like is giving us a really specific. So we talked about like specific tips for sustainability and then like specific tips for mental, emotional management, which is like exercises for your brain. And then we just kind of meditate together and send all that energy to the earth and dream together. And I feel like that's what Linda was saying, right? She was saying like, being the manager is like you create it the way you want it to be. So when we do that kind of healing meditation that Courtney just led, we imagine together and we dream it together exactly how we want it to be. It was really inspiring. Thank you.
So glad. I'm so glad.
It feels so peaceful.
Wonderful. Yeah. So if you're watching at home, please let us know what you felt, and we will head into our last segment today. But before we do, please do remember, and if you're enjoying, share our channel, because today, especially on Earth Day, and for the rest of the day, not just till the end of this event, the rest of the day, we will be donating $10 to the Canopy Project for every one subscriber we get. So we want to thank you so much for sharing this message and for, in no way contributing to that project.
Yeah, I can see Patricia's already sharing, like, she got some of her coworkers. Thank you, Patricia. Thank you to everyone who's participating with us.
Yeah.
I mean, we can't do this without you. Earth Management TV is a community and we want to grow the community. We want to grow this interaction. I think we can all see through the interaction, we inspire each other. We give each other hope. We give each other concrete tips. We can practice together. We can meditate together. We can send energy. We're just stronger together.
Right.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
thank you. Yeah. And now we're going into our last piece, the Earth Citizen Declaration, right?
Yes, yes. So this was something actually written by Ilchi Lee, and it just kind of summarizes Earth management really well. It's a way to kind of declare your commitment to taking responsibility, declare your wish to create a better Earth and a better planet out there. So we thought it was a nice way to conclude our event.
Yeah, we're just going to read it. But in past years, I always kind of imagined like dream. It's kind of part of the dream, right? Like this world where all across the world, people are declaring themselves as Earth citizens. When you hear the Earth Citizen Declaration, you can hear the different points that I hope they resonate. I believe they will. They're completely in alignment with Earth Management TV. They're what Earth Management TV is really based on. So please feel free to declare together with us, just kind of, you can say it quietly in your mind or just feel it in your heart.
I'm going to bring it up for you guys.
Patricia is saying something. Oh, I feel bad because I was unable to be part of the meditation, but I will do it later tonight. I do love your meditation,
Thank
Courtney.
you so much.
Oh, Patricia, you don't have to feel bad about anything.
Yeah.
We're just happy to have you here.
Yes.
Thank you for participating. And yes, you can do it anytime. So it's evergreen on the internet. So you can practice it later tonight, tomorrow on the full moon day. You can practice it anytime.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, that's true. The full moon energy is still going for another 24 hours.
Yes.
So please, you can ride that wave still.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, so we're gonna share the Earth Citizen Declaration. Again, I hope you will listen with your heart, and any part of the declaration that resonates for you, feel free to share with us. But also, if you want to declare it back, just so you know, it's part of this interconnectedness, this global citizenship. This is what, as Earth citizens, we want to say it means to be an Earth citizen. And imagining a world where we're all declaring this. So here we go. The Earth Citizen Declaration. I declare that I am an Earth citizen who loves and cherishes all humans and all life, as someone who has found my value and recovered my character.
I declare that I am an Earth citizen who contributes to making a happy, healthy family and peaceful community.
I declare that I am an Earth citizen who lives for an Earth village where all humanity lives as one family, beyond nationality, race, and religion.
I declare that I am an Earth citizen who acts to protect and restore the global ecosystem so that my Earth may recover its original beauty and vitality.
I declare that I am an Earth citizen who takes part in the work of developing 100 million Earth citizens for the evolution of human consciousness and the advent of a new era of civilization on Earth. Great. Yeah, so how does that resonate? This 100 million Earth citizens part? This part is very interesting because I think that number is really just a number that is referencing the critical mass concept.
Yeah.
When, imagine 100 million people are not just declaring this, but living this. They're really awakening their consciousness to how important they are, how important it is to take care of each other and the Earth at this time, declaring all of these things. If 100 million people were doing it, that would be like a tipping point on the planet. So that's what we're here trying to just kind of share to as many people as we can, because you never know what's going to resonate for who and when someone's going to start to wake up and make changes. Right? Yeah. So the 100 million has that kind of meaning, this sort of big collective concept, which is really what this event today is about, this collective mindset, this collective consciousness shift. And that can only happen when we're doing the inner work and outer work at the same time, right?
That is a good point to end on. Yes. And I think that if that's all you walk away with today, I think that's so important, that you are powerful and you do have the ability to create your own happiness, as we talked about. You do have the ability to find that peacefulness inside, and that will feel good for you, I hope. But also that's going to bleed outwards, not even just to the people you're physically communicating with on a daily basis, but energetically, it's going to expand outward.
Right. As we spoke of, we kind of started this day talking about the global citizenship concept and the interconnectedness that happens not just through physical, but energetically. So we're all part of this energy field. So as Courtney just said, we're creating ripples every time we make a change, every time we make a shift in our energy, every time we make a healing choice. We're causing a ripple effect in that energy field, which is something that is hard to understand if you're just kind of in your head about it, or if it's a new concept. But as you start to get more connected into your feeling, that's why we do the energy meditations, and you're awakening your empathy, you can sense how obvious it is. Kind of like what Linda was saying, you know, if someone is snippy to me, then I'm going to be snippy to somebody, and they're going to be snippy. And then this creates a big ripple effect. So that's happening on many levels.
Yes.
Yeah. So today we wanted to give you a lot of energy, and we'll be here continuing to talk about these things because they're important. There's many ways for us to talk about and understand it, and we want to keep inspiring each other and keep taking action.
Yeah.
Right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So this was a lot of fun for us. We hope it was a lot of fun for you guys too.
Yeah.
And yeah, we just really, really appreciate you guys being here. And we hope that, EMTV can continue to grow our community. So please do share. We are grateful for each and every one of you. And yeah, just happy to be here. Happy Earth Day for all of you.
Happy Earth Day. Please stay connected. You can join our newsletter. We're offering webinars. We always have talks. We have the full moon meditation every month. And we want to hear from you. If you have anything that you'd like to hear more about, if you have any suggestions or ideas, please do let us know. I see a comment coming in. Patricia saying, imagine if all of us, 8 billion of us, took this pledge on being an Earth citizen, we would all change the way we love ourselves and each other and Mother Earth.
So true.
That's right.
Yeah.
So we can dream that together. Yeah, we can imagine that and dream that together. Oh, thank you, Blueberry. Thank you so much for coming.
Yeah, thank you guys. Thank you.
Yeah, I think we can finish a little bit earlier today, but again, we want to hear if you have any comments. So even when we're no longer live, please share in the comment if you have any suggestion, anything more about sustainability you'd like to know about, or about human management, or about the brain. And remember, you can check out Linda at Brain Education TV if you want to do more exercises. Her channel is focusing more on exercises, and we're just here to kind of keep awakening this consciousness and raising up this spirit. So Patricia said, I appreciate the time you ladies took to do this. Thank you, Patricia. Happy Earth Day. And thank you, Kristen. Happy Earth Day, everyone. Have a wonderful day. Get out there. Do something good for yourself and the earth.
Yay.
Be well.
See you next time.
See you next time.